बी ए पार्ट फर्स्ट के विद्यार्थियों, आज के वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे ए क्रिटिकल एप्रिसिएशन ऑफ द सोनेट 75 वन डे आई रोट हर नेम बाय स्पेंसर. The sonnet One Day I Wrote Her Name upon the Strand has been taken from the sonnet sequence The Emirati, written by Edmund Spenser. In this collection, he celebrates courtship period and his love for of his mistress. The sonnet begins in a perfect romantic setting. This was the setting of the sonnet. The sonnet begins in a perfect romantic setting where the poet lover and his beloved are sighted on the seashore in enormous mood. In the meantime, the poet writes his beloved's name on the sandy beach. The sea waves comes and washes it away. As the lover repeats the task, the waves do the same. The lady love watches this tug of war inquisitively and relishes the merry situation. The lady at last raises the voice of protest by saying that hers is ordinary, frail, fragile, and transitory creature, and neither the name nor her personae can claim to do beyond death. Beyond death. Particularly, Sonnet 75 depicts the lyrical voice attempt to make his beloved one immortal. A scene is described in which the lyrical voice has a conversation with his loved one about this particular topic. Though the lady love is doubtful and even disdainful, the poet with firm conviction declares that his love shall triumph over death and live ever through. Being romantic and idealist, the poet asserts that the gross, insignificant, and sordid things might be the part of the transient world, but his beloved is a fulsome personality, a subject of immortality. Not so, quaid I, let baser things devise to die in dust, but you shall live by fame. The act of writing, this was the analysis of the poem. The act of the writing the name of the beloved here and there, time and again, is an arctile, obsessive, and symbolic act on the part of a lover. And from this simple gesture, the poem takes off. The opening lines have a dramatic effect as they portray a very common situation. It is with the intervention of the mistress word vain man that provide momentum to the situation. As the beloved questions the lover's behavior, she emphasizes on the mortal quality of life. Thus, in the octave, the stage is set for the lover's response, which we find in the sestet that follows. In the sestet, the lover hurries forth to silence the beloved and resolve the tensions created in the octave. It is a typical of a Renaissance poet, and the answer lies in the Neoplatonic idealization of the beloved. The speaker starts with a belief of the Renaissance alchemy that baser elements naturally persist in the dust. But Spencer symbolized the earthly things subject to decay and death. What he seeks to immortalize is not the physical beauty of the beloved, but those spiritual qualities which provide the beloved with spiritual beauty. The poet is hopeful that his verse will be able to immortalize the memory of the beauty of the beloved and transfigure her into a heavenly being. You shall live by fame, verse your virtues rare shall eternize. The most important assertion comes in the concluding line, in which the poet wants to use this kind of idealization as a way to preserve and immortalize their love. He hopes further that this will help them to transcend their mundane existence and find a permanent place in the divine scheme of the things. So, this was a summary or an analysis of the poem. Now, the structure and form of the poem. Spencer metaphorically compares tide rising and falling to the process of life. Also, in the sentence, but came the tide and made my pains his pay, the poet personifies the sea water to a beast and compares the name to his prey, which implies that time and tide wait for no man and that everyone is doomed to die. The lady in this poem feels insecure about time fleeting while the man insists on our love shall live and later life grows. Some characteristics regarding the structure and literary devices of the poem are following. First one is the speaker makes a metaphor. He refers to his writing as the prey of the waves. He basically imagines that the waves are like a mean of predator just waiting to pronounce on his poor defeatless writing. The situation is little dramatic. The next literary device is the poem has 10 syllable lines which should put us as an iambic pentameter alert. These lines are actually written in perfect iambic pentameter. Next one is it is not too often that dialogue shows up in a sonnet, as sonnets are pretty short poems, but we find it pretty snazzy that the Spencer included some speech in this sonnet. Next one is the poet's beloved is using the word vain twice in one line. She knows this word has multiple meanings and she drawing on both of them. The rhyming scheme of the poem is AB, AB, CBC, CD, CD, E, E. This rhyming scheme is what makes the Spenserian stanza. It was Spencer's innovation to the form of the sonnet. The use of alliteration like D words, devise, die, dust. In all sound it all sounds very harsh, but the speaker eases upon these tough sounds when he addresses his girl at the end of the line. note then the soft alternative sounds V, verse, virtue, they seem almost sweet compared to the hard D sounds. In the final two lines, we have alliteration of W words, where, Venice, and the world, and alliteration of L words with love, live, later, and life. So, in this stanza, we have alliteration, extended metaphor, repetition. In the first lines of the poem, the speaker introduces an extended metaphor that uses the image of a wave washing away his writing on the beach. It is used to represent the way that the speaker labors over his love but is continually ripped up. So, we can say Spencerian device of trump of poetry over time and by the process of glorification of love is a traditional way of thinking. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this and this gives life to thee. Kids too by the viewing thinks wings of poesy wishes to defeat the transitory world. Nonetheless, speaker Spencer is here original for his perfect blend of dramatic mood and his passion for love. So, dear student, this was a critical appreciation of the sonnet 75. Hope you enjoyed this video.